Thanks, Michee. Okay, so the team is rolling right now. 9 games unbeaten. What's that feel like as a player?
Oh, really good. Yeah, I know how we've been struggling early. So to turn all this, it make us feel like really good. You can see the energy to everybody.
What contributed to that turnaround? You mentioned struggling early in the season. Now you're definitely not struggling, coming from behind against North Carolina. What has changed for this club to get to that point?
It's just the hard work. We didn't give up. We didn't go down, so we just keep pushing every single day, every training, every game. I know it was super hard to take all that, but we just refresh everything, and we keep pushing. And yeah.
And you individually in North Carolina, a great game, just really tearing them apart down the left-hand side. The goals haven't been there, but how does it feel to be just knowing that when you go out there, you're really making that kind of impact on the game?
Healthy, I'm 100% healthy now, so I can feel my body. I can run 100%. I've been struggling with my health too since last year. I was not like 100% good, but I just try to treat my body well. Take everything professional, so now I feel good. That's why I keep performing good.
And you're now in the middle of a pretty rough stretch, a bunch of games in not a very large number of days. Indy coming to town tomorrow. As a club, how do you prepare for that? 5 games in 15 days to keep that rolling.
It's a little bit hard, but we just try to recover well, to follow all the instructions they give us to our physical trainer. So I think we're good, and our focus is just to get 3 points to win a lot of games. So yeah.
And then Indy, the last time you played them earlier this season, 4-4 draw. Hartford conceded in both stoppage time in both halves. Do you anticipate a similar game tomorrow? What are you looking for?
Say it again.
Do you anticipate kind of a similar high-scoring game tomorrow?
Kind of, but I'm sure we're gonna score more even, and the focus is to get 3 points. That's it.
All right, Seb, early in the season, we were talking about team struggling, but you're having a good individual season, and you were really focused on it's about the team. Now the team's cooking. How does that feel as a player and as a group of guys in the locker room?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, I think it's a testament to the locker room. Obviously, like you said, not a great start to the season, but I feel like everyone was bought in and doing the right things and wanting the right things as a group and as individuals, and turned it around, and we're in a good spot right now.
You talk about getting bought in. How hard is it to stay bought in through those struggles? And then how good does it feel when it does turn around like it has?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for me, it's not that tough because I've known a lot of these guys. I know the quality that they have. I know the coaching staff, the stuff that they're doing. Like, they're always doing things right, I can definitely see it's for a younger guy, maybe first year, like, it's tough when you're not getting the results, but I think it's great you have a locker room full of guys that continue to do the right thing over and over, trust the system, trust that we're going to do the right things over and over, and when we finally get the results, then it's kind of like a relief, you're like, oh, we did the right things, we did it all right, and it's finally coming now, so it's good.
9 games unbeaten, really on a hot run, go down to North Carolina, you come from behind in that game. You're on a tough stretch now, 4 more games in the next 8-10 days. How do you balance keeping that momentum up with needing to manage your health through a tough stretch like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of games in a short amount of time, so definitely a lot of rotations needed. We have a full squad and a group of guys that are all ready to play. It's kind of like the next man up sort of thing, and everyone that's got put in, whether it's 5 minutes or have to play 90 the next week, they've all stepped up to the challenge and done well, and I think that's just huge when you have a group of guys that are all pushing, all doing the right things. I mean, we feel like we can be home, we can go away, we can do anything and get a result.
And then Indy coming into town, the last time you played them, gave up 4 goals, including 2 in stoppage time. As a defensive unit, how do you approach a game like that, knowing that last time was a little leaky, and particularly in some key moments, how do you think about cleaning that part of the game up?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of coming in a time where we were leaky. Like you said it the best, we were leaking in goals that should never be goals, but we've been really good recently, have a lot of clean sheets recently, and I think we're just a completely different team now. We're more dangerous in the attack, we're better, more tight defensively, we defend as a unit, and I think we won't have a problem with that.
All right, Brendan, great result in North Carolina, come from behind victory. Talk through your reaction to that one.
Great. I mean, to come back, to keep fighting when you're in the 85th minute and you're down away from home, we didn't have that in us earlier in the year. So, great sign. I thought we could have been up by multiple goals in the first half before they kind of found their feet and came into the game, which is another great sign. We're taking it 2 teams early in games, and hopefully we can continue that.
Another game where you got an early goal. Samuel Carriaga, second game in a row, he scored inside 6 minutes, I think. And that's been a little bit of a pattern lately, getting those early goals, where that wasn't so much the case earlier in the season. What's changed in terms of the approach, the mentality there?
It's just intent. It's something we talk about all the time, and individually for him, for Samu, he's starting to show that intent when he plays now. He knows where the goal is. We've seen him do it in the past with Memphis, and he's starting to click into really good form.
Michee in that game just kind of absolutely dominant on the left-hand side. Probably could have had a goal and 2 assists on the night. He's looked in much better form over the last few months. He's talked about being fitter. You've talked about him being fitter. Is it just that, or is there more there with him?
It's just that, because he's so talented. He reads the game well. He can wait a pass. He can make a final pass. He can, the ball he plays into Samu is pinpoint perfect, and it's the same ball actually that he played against San Antonio to Mo on the back post. So service like that is just begging to be finished, and then it just becomes a numbers game, who's arriving.
Defensively, kind of a couple of breakdowns on that one. Alex Anderson giving a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
When you look at that kind of element of the game, what do you feel like you need to tighten up as a defensive unit there?
Well, it's always difficult to contain. I'd put him in the top 5 fastest guys in the league, and we're going to see another one tomorrow in Malik Foster. Those guys, if you get your timing wrong, if you get your shape wrong, if you get your ball pressure wrong, they can break your last line. And Alex broke our last line twice, and it led to 2 goals. They didn't have much otherwise. I think we outshot them by more than double or close to double on target, and that's a great sign. But guys like that, there's a reason they change games. If you get your spacing wrong, and again timing wrong, those guys can kill you, and he did.
Looking ahead, Indy is coming to town tomorrow. The last time you played them at their place, 4-4 draw, some late goals given up. Teams have been on kind of different trajectories since then. They're really sliding a little bit.
Yep.
What do you see that's changed for both you and for them over that time period?
Results haven't gone their way, but they're a really talented team. I mean, it's all veteran players across the board. There's no young guys mixed in at all. On any given night, you catch them on the wrong night, they can execute at the highest level that our league knows. They have 4 really talented technical center midfielders. They have 4 very talented forwards. Just from a purely technical individual standpoint, they're a really high-end team.
They kind of similarly to Hartford at the weekend, they went out, they got an early goal against Louisville, and then sort of collapsed. They've given up, I think, 25 goals now in the second half of games this season. When you look at approaching the game, thinking about that early goal they got, and then also about their vulnerability later in games, how does that impact your approach, this team's approach?
Well, we always want to get our nose out in front if we can. It takes away some of the will to run and close spaces, and to keep pushing from other teams when you can get out ahead of them, or it causes them to stretch out. Both are good for us because we're good in transition. If you allow them to get their nose out in front, they have more to work for, more to protect, and this is a huge game for both teams.
And then this is the second of 5 games in 15 days. Tough stretch. Obviously, you have a couple of guys, Owen Prestas, Emmanuel Samadi, who are missing. How do you get through a stretch like this, keeping that intent, keeping that focus? You got the good result to kick it off. How do you keep that rolling?
Yeah, it's really important to rotate. I said that after the Rhode Island game when we rotated heavily going into it, and people were probably surprised that we rotated as heavily as we did. But we trust the 18, 19, now 20 guys in the locker room to execute when we call their number. And we'll be doing that certainly through this 5-game stretch quite a bit. Owen and Manu are away now, so Seb and Babu pop in, and we don't expect to miss a beat.
And talking about not missing a beat, Momo leaves, leading scorer, and you get 6 goals in 2 games after that, coming from all across the roster. How does that feel as a coach, as a manager, knowing that we're still cooking?
Yeah, we told the guys before Mo left we would have never let him leave if we didn't believe in the rest of the group to show up and continue producing at a high level. I think our expected goals is among the best in the league, if not the best in the league over the last 10, 12 games or something like that. And that doesn't all come through one guy. Do we miss Mo's just pure, running off the ball? Yeah, a little bit. It changes our shape a little bit, but Kyle's working really hard and he's as fit as he's ever been, so we're hoping to continue to increase his his thresholds, and we still are going to add 1 or 2 guys to the group that can reinforce the group and allow that rotation.